These predator drones, in fact, are so precise and accurate when it comes to hunting down their targets that the United States have been actually successful in a bunch of their missions using this very Sea Guardian Predator drones. If I could take you through the kind of successful missions that United States has pulled off. Here's a quick look at the people who were on their target list. They managed to actually crack down on them with the help of these Predator drones. The very famous Qasim Soleimani, the way the United States hunted him down, the commander of the Quds Force, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps in Baghdad 2020, that he was hunted down. We also know Al-Qaeda chief Ayman al-Zawahiri, who was shot down in Kabul in 2022. We also see a few more, including Akhtar Mohammad Mansoor, who's a Taliban supreme leader in Balochistan in 2016, that these very drones managed to track him and shoot him down. In fact, Baitullah Mehsood, leader of the Tariq-e-Taliban Pakistan in South Waziristan, in 2009, he was tracked and hunted down. Now, these are the targets that they've managed to achieve with this very precise and deadly Predator drones, which India now is all set to lap up in its army arsenal. Now, after coming, at this point when we see after coming to power in 2014, Prime Minister Narendra Modi itself, he's visited the United States multiple times. In fact, he has had multiple visits, meeting with the Prime Minister at that point in 2014 as well. In September, he had met with Barack Obama, the president then. He also met with Indian American community in the Madison Square. The reason to why we're taking you through this is to show you the kind of reception and warmth that Prime Minister Modi received at that point in time. In 2014, when he came to power, this was how Modi was welcomed. The kind of dazzle we saw, he was welcomed like a true rock star. The crowds cheering on for Prime Minister Modi. His every move was very closely watched. All that and more. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's previous visits to the United States. Listing that out for you. Take a look.
Four months after the 2014 landslide victory at the Lok Sabha polls, Narendra Damodar Das arrived at Uncle Sam's doorstep. The United States of America had till then refused a visa to the Chief Minister of Gujarat. But then, when the same person arrived as the Prime Minister of India, the US laid out a red carpet welcome. The combined hearts of the Indian diaspora seemed to burst with pride. At the Madison Square event, the politician Prime Minister dazzled like a genuine rock star, and the crowds swooned at his every move.
Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
After Madison Square, the Prime Minister enthralled surging crowds at the New York Central Park. Standing next to Hollywood star Hugh Jackman at the Global Citizen Festival, he connected with the youth with the line that till then had been synonymous only with the Star Wars movies.
May the Force be with you.
And the newly minted Prime Minister of India had breakfast with the CEOs of global enterprises. Over a series of one-on-one meetings, Modi met the top bosses of financial biggies and made time to catch up with India-born corporate leaders based in the US. He invited investment from prominent CEOs and urged the Indian American community to take up a greater role in the development of India. The first 4-day trip to the USA was blitzkrieg in nature and impressive enough to change his image for years to come as the man who was going to build New India. Exactly a year later, the Prime Minister of India was back to reconnect and revive the ties made earlier. This time, he had 24 hours more to work on. The Prime Minister had a working dinner in which major Fortune 500 companies were present to deliberate on investment opportunities in India. Prime Minister Modi visited the West Coast, the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister after almost 33 years. Considered the home of startups, innovation and technology. He took part in town hall Q&A at the Facebook headquarters along with its CEO Mark Zuckerberg.
मैं बहुत गरीब परिवार से हूं। आप जानते हैं मैं रेलवे स्टेशन पे चाय बेचता था। हमारे पिताजी तो रहे नहीं हैं। माता जी है, 90 साल से भी ज्यादा उम्र है। आज भी अपने सारे काम खुद करती हैं।
Prime Minister Modi also addressed a renewable energy roundtable at Stanford University. And then he interacted with the Indian community in San Jose. 6 months later, in his quick 2-day trip to US, the Prime Minister made time to catch up with scientists from the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory. 3 months after that came another 3-day trip in June 2016, when Prime Minister Modi addressed the 40th AGM of the US-India Business Council and met US business leaders. He exchanged views with US think tanks and attended a ceremony marking the return of Indian antiques. He laid wreaths at the tomb of the unknown soldier. He also laid a wreath at the Space Shuttle Columbia Memorial linked to the memory of Indian origin astronaut Kalpana Chawla. The year was 2019 and Narendra Modi had just led BJP to yet another historic victory in the Lok Sabha elections. Flush with the victory that had given him a resounding mandate. Prime Minister Modi resumed his US outreach with the iconic Howdy Modi event at Houston's NRG Stadium. The President of USA, Donald Trump, joined him in an unparalleled show of romance. The Prime Minister of India replied with,
अब की बार ट्रम्प सरकार। Thank you.
And a victory lap with Trump at the last leg of the marquee event, with the diaspora growing hoarse, cheering for their favorite son of the soil. On the heels of the successful Howdy Modi event, the Prime Minister of India addressed the opening plenary of the Bloomberg Global Business Forum in New York. In each of his visits to the US, Prime Minister Modi has sought to impart new energy in the bilateral relationship between the US and India. He connected with the business community and the Indian diaspora. And he presented India defined by the contours of his own vision of a land brimming with opportunity, a nation that could be a reliable business partner, and a country that was friendly to the United States and all the businesses that it stood for.